Okay, everybody. I think we're back alive, and I think at this point we do actually have some audio. Sorry about that. They always, when I go live and do things to try to help people, they always seem to come in and cause some issues with the technology. We're going to overcome those issues, and we're going to try this again. So, for those of you who do make it back, I do appreciate you guys for coming back and for rejoining the live. We are going to be pulling some cards and doing some activations and just generally chatting. So, welcome back. If you have missed the sound from the last one, I think we were on for about 20 minutes and nobody told me they didn't hear sound, but it seems like the negative spirits were trying to get involved. So we'll go back and start looking at some energies that are present within the collective right now. And let's see. Let's go look at some love energies and maybe some higher self messages. For those of you who are ready to jump in, we are still doing some questions and answers. I might do an activation depending upon how things go. But let's take a look at it. I am live on both YouTube and on TikTok at the same time. Hey, Lenore, is the sound back on now? I do appreciate you telling me because I would have just gone on for a while. It seemed like TikTok was getting some of the sound, but YouTube just didn't seem to be getting it. So for any of those who are rejoining, if you do have a question, just put it into the chat window. And I'm just going to pull a little bit more of this collective energy on love. So let's see what that collective energy looks like for love. So Spirit saying passion, a magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. Let's see what else we have. It's the other one that wanted to come up. And for many of you, I saw this morning too. There's a secret admirer sitting in the wings. It might be somebody you possibly put into a friend zone, or it might be, somebody that you're not aware of, but they're aware of you. So just be aware that those energies are there for you, and we'll go from there. So anybody who has rejoined, I appreciate you for having patience with the technology. Usually technology is my friend. However, their spirit has been putting some challenges in front, and we just go past it. So we're going to go to some classic tarot. Which is not my favorite thing to do, but I've been feel more compelled to use the classic tarot a little bit more. And so we're gonna pull some more collective information from there. And anybody who would like either a question for free or, oh, thank you, Yelly, I appreciate that. Or if you want a reading like what's blocking you in love or messages from your DM or a mini read, I'm available for that. And I can even do tonight, if anybody wants it, a short light language activation for their own personal issue. And that would run $10 for today. I'll run a special. I usually don't do that on light language, um, but I will. So Yelly, let's see what the answer to that is for you. We're going to ask the universe, has Chris moved on? So let's find out. And here we go. Chris has moved on. It's a big yes. So it's time for you to move on. But let's just see what's your energy for love, Yelly. So it's a friend zoned. I think that's what's happening here. So yes, it does seem like when I see both of these energies together, that's a big yes. There's more coming in for you, though. I feel it. The universe is just not ready to show it. And what you have to do is you have to look at what was that block, and then work from there. It's probably my most powerful read. You're welcome, Yelly, and I appreciate the heart puff. So for my YouTube side, Lenore, It's very possible that some of the skin irritations, does it look more like a spider? Let me know if you perceive it as a spider. And so for those of you who are joining, we had some dish technical difficulties. Sometimes happens when I do a dual stream to two social medias at once. Sometimes it just overpowers the networks, and they kind of fall apart. But we persevere. We move past that one. Um, and so if you have any questions, I'm doing some one card readings, mini activations, uh, and some other, some card reads, some collective reads. So if you have some questions, just put it into the chat. So Lenore from YouTube, I'm going to give you a quick activation here. It's only going to be about a minute or so. If you wanted something a little bit stronger, reach out. But what the activation I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little light language, and the light language is going to allow you to be aware of what that is, what that parasite is. And I might make it a little bit uncomfortable, but to truly remove it, you probably need a personal light language. Spider is an infection. It's a really nasty kind of infection, a spiritual infection. Almost everybody got infected with it at one point or another. It's just a parasite from another galaxy, but it brings in a lot of other, or actually another universe, and it brings in a lot of other things, such as the victim program and stuff like that. So I'm just going to give you a few blasts, just set the intention. This is for anybody else who is watching as well. If you would like to get a little bit of a cleansing from this, this is for specifically a spider implant or any other energetic implants that you might have. Everybody has them. It's the joy of being in this 3D world. You get, the minute you were born, they slap a whole bunch of things on you to kind of, keep you down and keep you from healing. So with that, if anybody wants to receive it, you just have to set the intention to want to receive it. We set the intention for our highest self outside of polarity to come in here within the frequency of love and oneness, to come in and to cleanse you of that parasite as best as possible. And we're going to set that with no harm to anybody from the frequency of love. And just sit back and relax. Shanana de papa ya pa hu shu pa ne ya papa ne he ya ye sha pa no hu pa hu shu pa na de papa usha ne he papa shu papa na ha pa sha ne he sha ma ba ni shi papa no hu pa ya papa sha na ne ji papa na ha ya pa shu pa na ne ji pa na ha pa pa ne na de sha pa shu pa hu sha pa ne. All right, Leonora, let me know how that felt within you. What that's going to do is just kind of maybe agitate them a little bit to try to move off your skin, but it's not going to keep it off. And this is one thing that a lot of people don't realize: when you have parasites, you have all those implants. It's because you allowed it. At one point, one version of you is allowing it, and you have to get to the core of why you're allowing it. My light language will help. It'll stop it for a little bit, but then when it comes back in again, it's because you're allowing it back in, right? And so no amount of shielding that you could put up, it could be a 50,000 D shield, but if you're allowing it in, you're allowing it in. And it's a version of you, whether that's your subconscious or something else that has a contract, but it is allowing that experience, and you have to go within yourself and try to find out why are you allowing that experience, and then try to basically heal that experience and cancel the contract. So with that, let's get a few collective tarot. And Lenore, let me know how that works. If you needed something deeper, I can definitely do that. But it's a personal light language that runs around 55. So Jason, as far as the love activations, I'm going to do some, if anybody wants to get a few activations, like a love activation or something like that, I will do some, like a mini one for around $10 today. I'm going to do activations, things as I feel called. I'm going to pull some questions as they come in and where I feel called to do it. But I will do a special today for like a mini, like 1 minute or so light language for $10. So with that, let's look at what other energies are there. And you're welcome, Leonore. Let me know how that feels on you. Just know that, you know, there's a high and then there's a low with light language, and the low is when everything, you know, it'll work, but you now have to release all that stuff. And so just be prepared for releasing whatever it is that we kind of loosened up, and then it'll balance out. But it's always an up and down. So Spirit's telling everybody, you know, it's time for a little bit of rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, solitude, right? We've had a lot of rough weeks, and you can see it here. Spirit's telling us it's time for that, you know, just kind of resting and healing. Um, so, you know, with that, um, hang on one second. Um, so with that, I also have Spirit is giving us the upright planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans, right? So after this rest, there's going to be a bit of travel here, but you're going to have a choice between two paths. So be really careful around that path. And all that you've learned up to this point is leading to this right here, right? This journey and that split of the path. So you know, as you're about to embark, just make sure you understand what both sides of that path are and choose wisely, right? So let me know if any of that makes sense uh, for the collective. And so let's see what else we have. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Yeah, Lenore, it's probably YouTube. It's just I have a really high streaming bit rate, and they may not be able to handle how fast it's moving. I may just lower that down a little bit next time I go live. YouTube is, unlike TikTok, YouTube for live is just hideous. I generally don't go live with it because of that reason. But Lenore, it's not going to be forever because you have to release it yourself. I can do a little bit stronger light language in a personal session that'll help you keep it at bay, so to speak, until you're ready to release it yourself. Those do run $55, but they're reusable. You can use it and re-listen to it every time this happens to help you release it. So with that, do we have any questions from anybody in either YouTube or on TikTok? Otherwise, I'm going to pull out a few more cards around. I think I'm going to do the Starseed Oracle first when I'm being called towards. So Spirit, what is it that the collective needs to know in this now moment? Then we'll get some collective readings from the higher self too. We've had a lot of interesting energies lately. If anybody wants to share in the comments, please do. And if you've gotten a reading or record, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. That's what I ask for when we for an energy exchange. Donations are absolutely wonderfully accepted, but not required for the free ones. So Spirit is also telling us right now, light body crystal crystal grid transmission activation. A lot of us are activating right now. Our light body's just starting to come online, and that's why we've felt tired, we felt drawn, we've had a lot of anxiety because we had to release a lot of stuff. And Mary, I'll catch that in a few seconds after this. Story ancestors, right? Hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. So Spirit's telling you, you know, it's time to really just dig deep into yourself to see your ancestry, to see where you came from, where all of these activations are coming from, which requires you to go within and meditate, right? And sometimes it's not meditation, but you need to be able to go within and connect with yourself, and however that is that you can connect with yourself. And last is remember, right? I remember soul plan. So you're getting that activation. You're starting to have that memory. You're starting to get to your soul plan, but the way in is within. And the more you go within, the more you're going to understand about yourself. And as you understand about yourself, you'll understand about your soul path. Don't ever listen to any reader or anybody else who tells you what your soul path is. Only you can know it. They can't know it. They can see some things around the energies, but that's not for them to tell you. It's for you to find out for yourself. And if you don't know that, then you just have to work on yourself a little bit more to gain that information, because otherwise you're seeing things from their perspective and not from yours. And if you're not seeing them from your perspective, then you're not really seeing it in the place that you need it to be seen. And then for those, so let's, we've got Mary, is Kevin developing feelings for me or just attraction? Okay, yes, Jason, I will send you a mini twin flame activation after I answer this question. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So, Mary, is Kevin developing feelings for you or just attraction? I'm going to ask a yes or no, and I'm going to see the energies. And so, Spirit's saying ask again. And when they say that, it means I need this card deck. And Spirit's giving me forgiveness and healing connection, love languages, quality time. So you're going to find this out over time. There's some forgiveness that needs to happen, but this might be a healing connection for you once you find the forgiveness and whatever you're needing to forgive. But if you can't get into this forgiveness, this is not going to work well. So I hope that answers your question, Mary. And for Jason, so for those of you who are watching, Jason has paid for a mini activation. This is a twin flame activation. So Jason, just give me a yes or no. You're looking to help become more magnetic so that your twin comes through quicker. And so if that's the case, just say yes or no. If that's the case, what we're going to do is we're going to set the intention for you to be aware of what it is most that is blocking in the connection within you, because we don't heal anybody else. We only heal ourselves. And as we heal ourselves, we become more magnetic, and we also become more in tune with who is our true twin. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to set the intention. Jason, please bring in your highest self from outside of polarity with you, because we want you to start to become aware of what it is that is blocking you the most within the twin flame union. I also going to bring in the awareness of who your true twin is, and we're going to release everything that is not in your highest and best good for this frequency, for this time. I want to bring in the frequency of love. Anybody who would like it, just set your intention to receive. Jason, you're going to get a little bit extra coding, because I'm going to bring in some coding specifically from your higher self for you. So for Jason, higher self, please be with us in this healing. I'm going to bring down the codes from my highest self with the highest frequency of love and light. We are going to bring down love, and we're going to bring down an awareness. So with that, set the intention. And Shipatna apa ushatnidi papa uya patni yahanani jupatna hapa hushinidi pujina patna wa shapa ne ne shapa no hopa ya pau hushinidi jipa nana hapa apa ushinidi papa nehi ya papa papa nehi vujinidi pawe papa ne pa nahanu nunu papa nahaya bahu shushu pa na pa ho shapa ne he ye hepa ne ni shipa na hopa na hapa ya paush ne ni di papa ne pa no hopa hu shu pa na haya pau ne jinunu papa na haya ya pau hu ne di pau usha ya na hapa husha pa ne ya papa ne he ba ushu shu papa ne he papa ushu no pa ne he pa ya pa ni juf sha ne papa usho shana ni ushene ni papa ujene ni pehe ne ya pau o pa ya ushene wi pau nana aya papa ushu no pa na haya ya pa ne ya papa
sha pa ne oof shane di pow 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 shane he pa pa o shu 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 pa na 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 pow o ho pa ya na ha pa o shine di pa pow shane di pow e pa ne no ho po ho shine di pa pa na 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 pa o shu pa o.
All right, Jason. So let me know how you felt with that. For anybody else who is listening or just jumped in, what we did was what we call light language healing. And what is that? That's speaking with a specific frequency channeled from my higher self through me, from clients' higher selves as well and their spiritual team. They give me the information and the codes required for the person requesting either the healing or releasing of a block, whatever that is. So that comes in and it will affect everybody just a little bit differently. It comes into layers and it's going to keep on peeling layers. So, Jason, just make sure you're watching the replay of this because you can watch this over and over again. There's some tools out there if you want to just kind of scrape it and just take this little portion of it for yourself so that you can listen to it over and over again. Uh, I use an app called Audacity, which will allow you to kind of scrape some videos. That should help you, and definitely listen to that a few times as possible, like at least once a day for the next week or so. And I think that's going to help clear out whatever it is, and it's going to make you aware of who, what, where, when, and what it is that you need to release in this now moment. So let me know how that went through for you. And so for anybody else who is just joining, I'm doing some activations. I'm doing some card reads. The activations, I'm doing a special today, just like what you heard there. It's $10 for specific light language requests. It's like a mini. I generally, if you look up at my menu there, I generally do a $55 for a light language one-on-one, and it's a personal healing that generally lasts somewhere between 7 and 15 minutes, depending upon what codes need to come down. So that was a really nice way to kind of experience light language at a lower price point. I also do have a lot of public domain light language, probably one of the largest libraries out there on my YouTube channel, which is YouTube of Silver Fox Spiritual. So, if you have never experienced it, it's great to just go jump over there. And also for those who are still looking to really kickstart their way into love, I did have a group healing about a week and a half ago. It was for the 1111 portal, I guess about 9 days ago now. And that was co-hosted with Spiritual Susan, a good friend of mine. And we did light language, we did Reiki, we did cards of guidance, we had some meditation. So it was, and some affirmations. It was really transformational if you're looking to really release all those blocks on love, because we took the energy of the 1111 portal and channeled it through. It's available on a replay. If you're interested, just reach out to me. It's a $30 donation for the replay. So let's see what else is coming in with the frequency of love. Let's see what other messages we have for the collective around love and what's going on, because everybody's situation is different, but I can pull some collective energies of what's going on in the love situation. So let's see what Spirit just threw out at us. So Spirit's basically saying, abundance is coming in. I know it's been a little difficult for a lot of us. Keep that positive mindset. I know you've been waiting forever and ever and ever. When is my boat going to come in? All right. But Spirit's saying that there's going to be a sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, transformation. Right? Spirit's saying it's time to rise like the phoenix. There's a potential of rekindling, renewing, and regrowth. There's going to be a date with some seduction, right? So get out there, allow yourself to get out and date, and that seductive energy is coming through. So yeah, it's going to be a big change from what was once a desert is now going to turn into abundance, and it's going to come when you least expect it. So that is the messages I have for that. And so let's see if we have any more questions or activations requested. Otherwise, I'm going to give it about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm going to probably just look into, what is it that's blocking everybody in love. and maybe an inspirational message or two from our higher selves as to what is it that we need to work on. So let's look at what are the biggest blocks that we have to love right now for the collective, for anybody who's been called to watch this either on YouTube or on TikTok. So let's see what we got. All right, so Spirit's given us three main reasons for people here what's blocking you, right? And if you look at my menu up at the top, you're going to see I have it's one of my least expensive ones is what's blocking in love, right? And for many of you, you know, I don't get a lot of requests for it, and I never understood why, but I think a lot of people don't really want to know why they're blocking themselves in love, because that means that you have to change, you have to heal, you have to pivot. But that's the most powerful read I have in the deck, and I price it specifically low enough so that anybody can access that information if they truly want it. So this is a sample of what you get within that reading. You also get a little bit of light language to help you unblock it, just a tiny bit, not a huge amount. But first one that a lot of people are hitting is not compatible. You don't really believe there's a match for you. Have an open mind, right? Why don't you believe there's a match for you? Because you've been in the same pattern over and over again, right? And what kind of pattern is that? It's picking the wrong person. Why do you pick the wrong person? And because you want to create that narrative that there's nobody out there for you. And so you go after the bad boy, the bad girl, the one that's unattainable, the one that you know is going to dump you, the one that you know is not right for you, but you chase it anyway. And why do you chase it? Because it allows you to be right, right? It's better to be right than actually experience what you truly want. And this is something that a lot of people need to, get in within themselves. Age issues, right? And I've fallen prey to this one many a times. You feel too old or too young to date, or have issues with your partner's age. And that can be a big thing because, if there is a large age difference, you're in different stages of life, and it's really hard to understand why would this person love me at this age because there is such a difference. And so you have to get over that. And the last one is giving too much. And this is really big for ones with divine feminine energy. You're a bit depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. And why do you give too much? Because you're codependent, because you feel that you need that love to complete you. No, you need to find the love inside yourself. You should be finding that love without having to chase it. And when you give too much, the person takes too much. And you know what happens when rocks are stacked up that high? They topple because it's weighted wrong, right? It's never going to stay because you're always giving, the other person's always taking it. At one point, frustration and resentment comes in and it topples over. It's a classic tower, right? And so you have to find that balance within yourself by finding the love within yourself. To find that love within yourself, then you attract the ones that you want. So these are the major blocks for people who will be guided to watch this reading. This reading is timeless. It is not, if you come across it, you're meant to come across this. It's not dated, so any of the information in it, the activations have no date limits on it, no time limits. It is when it is, right? And so let's look at some timing, and we'll have some fun with timing. Or actually, let's get a higher self advice first before we look at timing, and then I think I'm going to kick off in a few minutes just to see, just wanted to pop on a little bit. I sometimes like to, do a just give back day for people who have watched, people who have purchased. Let's see what we have. So, Spirit, give us some advice from our higher selves. What do we need to know? It's too much, Spirit. Let's try this again. Spirit, what do we need to know in this now moment? And when that usually happens, I usually reshuffle the deck because that's usually Spirit just knocking the whole deck down, saying, hey, you got to reshuffle this a little bit better for us. And so I did. And so now, what do we need to know to help us through the rest of this week? We're at hump day today. Been a trying week, at least for my energies. I don't know about everybody else. So let's see what else we have. And so the higher self is saying, the sacrifices you make today will be worth it. So I know, I don't know about you guys, but my week has been just absolutely awful all week. And I've been trying to change that energy, but sometimes you just got to surrender to it and you just got to allow it just go through and just deal with it, whatever that pain you're in. because that sacrifice will be worth it. At one point, your success is closer than you imagine. So just keep going, right? And that's the best thing you can do, is to keep going on your healing journey, because you know what? There's a lot of ups and downs. And every time you heal one layer, another layer comes up to be healed. And so you're happy, crying, happy, crying, happy, crying. And that's just the way it is of healing. But at one point, this is going to really pay off for you, because you're going to start to be able to manifest things that you want rather than what your subconscious's traumas want. So keep going, everybody. Keep going. So let's look at timing. Let's ask, when's our boat coming in, whether that's love or abundance. What we're going to do is we're going to ask what the possibilities of the energies are, because as I always tell people within timing is not set in stone. It is variable. And why is it variable? Because we're in a free will universe, a universe of polarity, which means that every decision begets another decision, which begets another decision, another path. And so nothing is truly set in stone. Even at the last minute, something can change, and can change very radically, which is why we want to continue to heal, to make sure that the energies that we have are in the best place to take advantage of things. So with that, Spirit, when is it time for those energies to come into abundance and love? And Spirit's given us two of these, right? It depends on the progress of your construction. It means depends on where you are in your healing. And after acceptance of an unequal contract. And what is an unequal contract, right? We come into this life with lots of contracts from other souls, and some where we're beneficiaries, some where we're not. That's a contract that you're going to probably consider something that is not of a pleasant experience. However, once you do accept that, to release it, it's right out in front of you, but you need to pay the price, right? So this is why we're in this kind of pain right now. The contract is there, the abundance is there, but we need to pay the price, meaning that we have to finish that contract, whether we break it or satisfy it. However we get this contract done, once that contract is finished, it's ready to come in. Universe isn't willing to give us any timing, but this is kind of what we've got. So with that, that's pretty much what I have for today. Please like, follow, and share. I'm going to give everybody about a minute to basically, if there's any more questions or anything else. I think the collective energy right now is a really good place. It's still a little bit chaotic from all the portals that we've had just back to back to back. We're coming up very soon, and another month on the winter solstice. And generally, this is where things start to wind down a little bit. We start to see the fruits of our labor. Usually around November, December, the fruits of our labor come in, and then around January, we sometimes get to enjoy it. But it really depends on your own personal soul path, and what you've chosen to heal, and what you've chosen to manifest post that point. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me. I appreciate everybody who has stuck with that small little technology burp that we had within YouTube. It was a little cranky at times, but we made through it. We plowed through it, right? And this is also, how you have to work with your healing. Some days you're in a great place, and some days, there's a challenge there. But what do you do when that challenge hits? Do you sit back and just cry and become a victim? And we all get into that place where what was me? Why is the universe doing this to me? And the sad secret is the universe isn't doing anything to you. It's you doing it to you. Many of us are being attacked. And why are we being attacked? Because we allow it, right? Which means that you're doing it to yourself. And so no matter what kind of protection or shielding that you put up, ultimately it will come back in until you come back. You go within yourself enough and deep enough to understand why is it that you're allowing that experience, right? And this is very difficult for many people to accept and fathom, because we are all creators and we are all creating our own reality. And as we keep creating those reality, a lot of it's contracts that we allow, or a lot of it's trauma or parts of ourselves that don't want to get outside of that trauma, that need to heal. And so with that, everybody. This is my moniker is Silver Fox Spiritual Healing, right? I'm a card reader second. I'm a healer first. And when you look at my card reads, and every time I do them, I post them on YouTube and TikTok and also Instagram. When you see them, you'll notice that everything is around what's available to you in the energy within that space. Because I don't want to tell you a flowery story that's not going to come true. I don't want to make up stuff. It's not about the story, it's about you. It's about what you are willing to do to heal yourself. And as you heal yourself, the things that you want to manifest in your life will become available to you because those doors start to open once you release that hamster wheel of karma that keeps on going through. So with that, have a great day. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. I go live on TikTok every morning, usually around 6 to 8 in the morning, where I do a couple reads on the energies. They do a replay of that on uh, YouTube and Instagram. I do have a YouTube card reading channel, which is Silver Fox Spiritual Dash Reading, and my light language channel for the healing is Spiritual Silver Fox Spiritual. And if you want to see some of the reads, I do a lot more lives on TikTok, and that's Silver Fox 9501 is my TikTok ID. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe. And generally on Sundays, I'll go live with my co-host, Spiritual Susan, usually between 10 and 12 in the morning. Sometimes we have to adjust it because, things that are going on with life where we have to adjust the time. But we do a lot of these pop-ups like this where we'll answer some questions and we can do some small reads and activations. So with that, have a great day, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Bye, all.